Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 story, The Head Coach, with me, Daniel. It's part 77 today and it is hotting up at the top of the Premier League. We've lost a game, we've started getting injuries, and now we've got 2 months without that big confidence boost every 3 weeks of winning Europa Conference games handsomely. So if anything is going to define our season, it's probably this next couple of months. We've got a busy run over the festive period, a very difficult run at the end of January and start of February, and that's going to be our next 2 episodes. So if you're looking forward to seeing how the title race goes, it is 1 from 3 essentially at the minute, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. We had another hectic transfer deadline day in our Hem or Save yesterday. You can find that in the eye above, as well as the new review, the 92, the Twitch channel for regular live streams, and the football podcast as well. Please do check them all out. A massive thank you for your support. But let's get going against West Ham and Everton. West Ham, we question why they were one of the favourites at the start of the season. Well, they're up in 4th place now. They're proving us wrong. The interesting situation, though, is Chelsea and City behind us. Because City, largely brilliant. But I just want to show you what I mean by a really bizarre league this season before we focus on our 2 games. And City's schedule defines it perfectly. So they broke the Premier League record for a win, quite convincingly as well, with an 11-0 win at home to Brighton. They've also had a 7-2 earlier in the season. They've won 4-0, they won 5-0 in the Champions League. They've been a battering ram for the most part. But then they've lost 2 games away at Burnley and Leeds. And at Leeds, just 3 weeks after that massive game against Brighton, they lost by 6-0. I just don't understand how they're so inconsistent. It doesn't make any sense to me. They then came back, they beat Liverpool in a thriller, beat Arsenal narrowly, then lost at West Ham in between. There's so much that I don't quite get about it. But that 11-0 win, followed by a 6-0 defeat just 2 Premier League games later, is the perfect summary of why in this year's game, most of the Premier League seasons have been so low point-winning totals and with tight top 4s and top 6s, because no one runs away with it. If you can win 11-0 and lose 6-0 2 weeks later, it's Sunday League stuff. Lord knows how anyone is going to run away with this title. I haven't had a look at Chelsea by comparison. I assume theirs is a little calmer. Big crucial time coming up now as Chelsea play City this midweek. And we could get further ahead if we manage to win our games. But we have got a couple of negatives on our record now. We have lost a game. And the results are starting to get tighter. Gone are the big victories, even in the Europa Conference, since you were last with me. But the truth is, bar 1 game, we've won them all, and that's the most important bit. So you were with me for the Palace match. We came back with back-to-back 5-0 wins after the internationals. And Ponza, Sancho with 2, Fernandes penalty again, and Kylian Mbappe with the 5 against Sheffield United. Against Legia Warsaw, it was a Rashford hat-trick, as is customary in the Europa Conference, with Thompson and Tzolis adding from the wings. A 2-1 defeat against Newcastle, 92nd minute win up for Yanis Hadji. Yakubu had equalised with a header before the break. Pavati picked up a knock, hasn't played since. We won 1-0 against Norwich with a late Jalocca goal, really crucial one that against a struggling side. A 2-0 win at home to Spurs, but it could have been worse. Yakubu scored 2, missed a late penalty. Sancho got an injury in this game and is out for 4 to 5 months. And Arian Kalantari, I don't know if he just wants me to win a league title because he missed a hatful of chances in this game. The last one was a 3-0 win against Astana. Again, we played a rotated side. Rashford only got the 1, but Voloshin scored 2, and we're in pretty good nick. But we've got a pretty friendly end to this month coming up on paper. Next month, though, we've got Leeds, we've got City, we've got Arsenal, we've got Liverpool, we've got Chelsea. That little stretch there, with the return of Europe due at the start of March, with the League Cup run potentially having 2 semis and a final towards the end of January and in Feb, we could have a very difficult couple of months. But for now, we've got to pick up points without key players. We mentioned the Sancho injury. It's behind my head. He is this one who's out for 3 to 4 months. Ignacio will miss this game. Pavati not yet fit after a big injury. And lots of other players with high injury risk. Fofana's still only been back a month. We've got to look after him. Yakubu's got a recurring injury and has struggled a lot to play 2 games a week. I'm not convinced that we're running away with it yet. Bear in mind as well that Rashford, Fernandes and Mbappe, there's so many of them as well, are over 30 now. This could get ugly just yet. It only takes 1 or 2 more injuries or 1 or 2 poor results to start a crisis. So let's go and get into the West Ham game and see if the crisis will start today. It is a big one given the fact that City just picked up that last minute winner, Chelsea are only 2 points behind. And you can see from the goal differences, we're clearly the best three teams in the league. Without star players, how will we do today? Let's go and pick our 11. Big changes from the Europa Conference, and then we'll be back in a minute to run through the team. Okay, a couple of gambles today. We're basically in this sort of 4 games in 9 days period. We've played the reserves against Astana, and I think we're going to have to gamble the Everton game as well. So we're going to play our first team at home to West Ham and at home to Wolves, and the game in midweek will rest as many as we can and just try and freshen things up. But with injuries, that gets a little bit more difficult. Pavati will come back straight into the 11. He can't play more than 75 minutes, according to the sports science and fitness teams. Tzolis comes in for Sancho, who got injured last game. And the rest of the team basically picks itself. Basone obviously playing at centre-half due to Inacio's absence. So we've got Meslier in goal, Gaia and Pavati the fullbacks with Basone and Fofana centre-half. And Ponza and Jalocca in the middle, Fernandez, Tzolis and Yakubu the 3 ahead of them. And then Kylian Mbappe up front. Still no one got to 10 goals this season yet bar Rashford. And if it wasn't for the Europa Conference, he'd be nowhere near. So let's go and face a very good side, West Ham up in 4th. And really, we need to get a win, otherwise the other side start catching us. It's 10 changes to our side from the Europa Conference, just Basone keeping his place due to Inacio's illness. 2 changes for West Ham, managed by Jardim, got some quality players in there, and Arna in goal, one of those. Let's hope for a positive start. Let's try and get on the front foot. And let's try and derail West Ham's top 4 chances. We've still not lost a home game yet. And we've not really drawn one in the league. So let's hope we can maintain that too. Well, 20 minutes on the clock. We're back for the first time with a highlight. And Jalocca's playing it in the middle to Amponza. Gotta say, we're not looking our fluent best. Although we have scored a lot of late goals this year. So I won't panic just yet. As the ball comes down the right for Kai. He can cut inside. In through to the striker. VAR will check it. I thought it was on. We could be in trouble here. West Ham may have got the lead at Old Trafford. And with 2 defenders not fit, it really is a problem. But the goal's disallowed. We get away with it. A very big warning sign early doors. As we're back with a West Ham goal kick 5 minutes later. Big ball over the top from Anana. Fofana heads down. Gives it away though. It's not fluent at all. Thankfully he wins it back. Recovers his error. Comes down the line. Releases Kylian Mbappe. I could really do with him finding his best form. He's not been convincing all year, but he does pop up with big goals. As it's a Fernandez corner, outswinging delivery to the back post, Basone just beaten to it. It makes the Sancho injury all the more frustrating as Basone runs it out. He just agreed to come off the transfer list and stop asking to leave. The same for Johnny, the centre midfielder from America. That we're just starting to get on board, but doesn't seem to be happening now as Yakubu gets down the right. It was a bad time for an injury as Mbappe does it again. Nicks in from the defensive error, smashes into the roof of the net from 6 yards. And there you go. Not playing well, not creating a great deal, but we lead 1-0. And if we can keep nicking those victories by whatever means, then we're going to be great contenders for the title. Up to half-time we come. West Ham not creating much either. It remains 1-0. The Old Trafford crowd is happy. And we have just about edged the game. So let's go and get into the second half. Ask the lads to prove a point. Got a feeling we might need early subs because we're getting a lot of yellow cards. There's Tzolis. Goes back to Bavati and Basone. Jalocca. Keeping it well. We need one of those goals with a big build-up. Haven't had one in a while. As Fofana plays out from the back, he's starting to find his best form again. Gaia gives it to Yakubu. Back to Gaia. Through to Amponza. Into Kylian Mbappe. The flag goes up. It spares his blushes because it was another shocking finish. But it's a free kick again as the pressure piles on. Fofana down at the back stick. Mbappe hits it in. Off the post. It dribbles along the line. And eventually crosses it. It's 2-0. He scored both. Maybe he heard my first half criticism. And back we come again just 3 minutes later. It's almost turning into Europa Conference tie this. We're getting on top after the second goal as Pavati flies down the left to Jalocca. Into the back post. Yakubu's up. I have no idea how he's missed that. The flag has saved him big time there. It's one of the worst misses I've ever seen. Regardless, we've started this half on fire. And we're deservedly 2 goals up. We'll take Pavati off in a minute. As the corner's in, Yakubu hits the woodwork again. That time it's a good header and he's unfortunate. Probably levels out for the one he missed before. As Luca comes away on the counter. We don't want to concede at this point. And leaving Jalocca back there on a yellow is risky business. Fofana recycles though for Gaia. It's away to Bruno Fernandes and Yakubu. Over the top towards Mbappe. Hacked clear by Ostergaard. Out to Zolis on the left. He finds Jalocka. Releases his man again. Big switch to Yakubu. Mbappe's in the middle on a hat-trick. He finds him and he gets his first hat-trick of the season. That is a wonderful goal. We are turning on the style. And I'm going to bring on Alessandro Bordanelli. Pavati, 55 minutes on his comeback. And it's all been pretty plain sailing as Ben David throws in from the right. We're on course to go 5 points clear in the title race again. West Ham get in behind. Good ball across. Luca Romero heads in. Not the best goalkeeping from Meslier, but the defending before that left much to be desired too. On the hour mark, could the unthinkable happen yet? Let's try and prevent it. We're going to make some changes in a moment, but we've got a corner kick first as Bruno Fernandes in. Great header from Bassone. He was one of those I was going to look at resting now, to be honest. He's got a yellow card. He's played in midweek, so Ben White on for him. And either Fernandes, Yakubu or Jalocka. I think I take the man off on a yellow. Asher Gumbeat, the 22-year-old, comes on. 10 minutes to go. It's just calmed down a bit here, though. West Ham playing some lovely football there. I've got to say, of all the sides we've faced in the Premier League this year, they've probably given us the most difficult time defensively. They've shown some really good attacking threat. Meslier's not had a good game, let's be fair. He's been partially at fault for both goals. But it's 4-2. And West Ham are creating chances here as Zolis on the edge of the box back to Bordanelli. He's got a Gumby with him. Switches right to Gaia. Back to Yakubu. Can we get a fifth here on the cards? Bruno Fernandes. Gaia again. Back to Bruno Fernandes. Good save onto the post. Anana does really well. And United still threaten to stretch the lead. Going forward, we're an absolute machine. But defensively, this hasn't been convincing. We need an Ashio back. And we could do a Pavati fully fit. Against Everton in the week, we're going to have to rest a few. But we've got the first 3 points of the week. And even now, if we lose that game, we will still be top of the league. Back to face Everton, who are struggling near the relegation zone. But look at their goal difference. Their games are tight. And we're going to have to rest a lot of people here. We've also got to keep an eye on City v Chelsea. It could have an impact at the top of the table moving forward. And there are some other teams that will be hoping to stake their claim for the top four. But realistically, if we win this game, and if City beat Chelsea, we're 8 points clear of both, which coming up to the halfway point we would have taken. But we know that cluster of games that's coming. So building a buffer would not be a bad thing. Let's go and see who's fit. We've got to bear in mind that we face Wolves in 2.5 days' time. And I want to make sure we win the home game. So here, I'm prepared to take a few risks. But I don't know what our Europa Conference side will be like at this level. You can see again, Amponza struggling for fitness. Yakubu just can't do 2 games a week. Gaia's suspended. There's so many with a heavy match load. I just feel like there's no point taking risks. So I'm actually going to go quite close to the Europa Conference side. We'll be back in a minute to run through it. Okay, a couple of risks have been taken. But we have largely gone weak. So the only first teamers, as you'll see in the starting lineup, are Meslier in goal, Jalocka in centre mid, who I've kept him because we've got enough midfielders to rotate at the weekend, and Kylian Mbappe up front because he scored a hat-trick and we want to produce the goods after it. I didn't want Meslier in goal to feel like he'd been dropped for a poor performance too, so importantly kept him in. At the back, though, it's all changed as Frimpong, White, Bordanelli and Erdogan take the places of the usual first choice 4. We've got Johnny alongside Jalocka in the middle, Thompson, Rashford and Hannibal, the attacking midfield 3, with Kylian Mbappe up front. We've basically split our subs bench in 2. The first 4 are not first teamers, they're not fully fit, or Pavati, who's just coming back. And then we've got the sub keeper and a few of those who are, if we desperately need them, subs. So let's go and get into it away to Everton. This is a potential banana skin. This is the test of the squad. Normally, they'd come in, they'd win 6 or 7 in the Europa Conference. I've got a feeling this is going to be very different. Well, I didn't expect to see an Everton side managed by Martin Demichelis, the former City defender. What a player he was. We've also got Ben Godfrey, skipper, in the side there. Frank Onyeka still in the team. It's a very strong squad. Livramento on the bench. They've probably rotated a bit too. You can see 3 changes there. And it probably rotated a bit the last game and this weekend in the future. But this is going to be really difficult for us. I fancy Everton to get something from the game. If we win it, though, it really bolsters the title credentials. I've gone big up front. I want to score goals. I can't bank on a clean sheet, but any win will do. 7 minutes in, it's a throw-in on the left-hand side for Everton. Right down by the corner flag again. Chance to get the ball into the box with Balday, the left back, to the back post. Johnny heads away, and away as far as Thompson, who is electric on the counter. Just run, go in a straight line, get to the byline and put the ball in, and you've got two world-class strikers in there to finish, but they don't. Go back to Johnny and he gives away possession. That's why you just needed to cross it. Rashford was waiting, Mbappe was waiting, but now Everton fly down the left themselves. It's a high-tempo start, and Poku hits the post from the shot. They did what we needed to. They put the cross in the box. They created a good chance. City one up against Chelsea already. Erling Haaland scores it. So as it stands, both sides go level on points there. And if we can win, we stretch the gap at the top. As Everton come forward down the left again. I wouldn't say a victory looks likely at the moment. Balday into the box unopposed. Good save Meslier. Behind for a corner. Worrying signs at the start of this one. I'm going to demand a bit more from the lads. I might even drop the mentality a bit because I don't think we're strong enough defensively. Though Mbappe plays out to Hannibal. We can counter here. Gets to halfway. Two running off him. Johnny's one. Gives it away again. This is infuriating as we're straight back with Frimpong on the right to Thompson. To Hannibal. Releases Thompson. That's better. Cross it this time. There's two in the middle again. Goes back. Johnny. Thompson has to cross. Hannibal's there. It's blocked. Rashford back to Jalocka. Jalocka again. Great effort. Hits the post and goes wide. The first time we've created a great chance. I'm going to drop to balance because at the moment, Meslier's our man of the match. Chelsea have equalised again against City. They're closing the gap with Callum Hudson-Odoi. With half an hour gone, we've not really looked like scoring much. Oh, it's an Everton goal kick. Big one over the top. No chances playing out from the back for them. Very easy flick down to Onyeka. Johnny's had a shocking game in the middle. Poku goes back out to Zelik. He's got a chance to cross from the right. It's a good ball as well. Down to Poku who scores. They're going to VAR. I'm pretty sure it was on. I saw nothing wrong with it. And Johnny might be getting subbed. I might even do it in the first half because he's annoying me that much. It's been checked. It's been disallowed. We have got away with murder there. Well, I think we're going to hold out till half time as it stands. But they've won another flick on. This is infuriating. Dadri chips over. We've got to change something. Although we've got a free kick on the left. Set pieces often save us this year. That one is straight into the arms of the Everton keeper. Not good enough at a crucial time. And we know what's going to happen from this. Big kick over the top. Bordinelli wins one. Fair play to him. Pease picks it up on the left. Back to his centre-half. And Everton can start again. Godfrey plays a 1-2. Keeping possession well. We're not pressing quite as high. Not quite got the same energy in the team. And not got the same quality on the ball. It's whether I bring on the big guns to save the game or I try and just change it up again. As P shots goes over, it is relentless Everton attacking. Johnny will come off at half time. Bordinelli will too. We're going to find a solution. As Poku finds Onyeka. Everton playing again. We might not get away with it to the break. Poku through ball. There's 6 of them up there. Oh, what a challenge that is from Ben White. He's been excellent in a very poor defence. And now we have got to get back to the drawing board. The lads need to prove a point and we need to make subs. Agumbi is only 5'9". He can't play centre-half. I'm going to bring Bassone on for Bordinelli. Let's strengthen the centre-halves first. The second sub, he's got a jumping reach of 17. That's much better. The second sub is going to be, I think, Johnny off and Agumbi on. Jalocka will switch to the box-to-box role. And we'll save the last sub to the last 20 minutes because I'm not sure Mbappe will do 90 again. Well, 10 minutes gone in the second half and we've had a little bit of a relief of pressure going forward, which is a good sign for us. And we've now got the chance to get on the attack ourselves as Agumbi picks the ball up on the left-hand side. Into Bassone, who'd found himself forward. Ben White. Much better. Through to Rashford. Brilliant ball. Good interception there. Zelik with a challenge. It's behind for a corner. But this is more like Manchester United. We've got a corner kick in swinger to be taken by Mbappe. Up to the back post, Bassone loses out. Rashford will just about keep it in. Can he find the delivery though? No, goes back to Frimpong. Keeps it well to Timur Erdogan and Bassone. Erdogan again. Not in a rush to find the through ball. Agumbi in that deep line playmaker role goes wide to Thompson. The Scottishman gets to the byline, can cut it back. Again, frightened to cross for some reason. And Frimpong goes all the way back to halfway. Just put the ball in the box. Why are they so frightened of it? Jalocka to Agumbi. Back to White again. still not mustering shots on target, and that's my worry coming into the latter stages here. Agumbi finds Hannibal, that's an awful tackle, and that might change the game because he's been sent off for that Ben Godfrey. The skipper with a lunge, and quite frankly the referee had no choice. An hour gone, we're going to go attacking again, and we're also going to make the final change. It's going to be Thompson off, and it's going to be Voloshin or Tazoles on. I'm going to bring on Voloshin. We'll leave the rest of the team as it is. Tempted to swap Mbappe and Rashford. We'll see if that makes a difference. But otherwise, I'm fairly happy that we've got a chance against 10 men now. Well, just under 20 to go. We've not actually created anything since making those changes. We're demanding more from the lads. And I keep forgetting Everton are in their bigger new stadium. But here's an opportunity. Jalocca to Mbappe in off the left-hand side. Oh, straight at the keeper who does well. But he's giving them a chance, Mbappe. Why has he not got that ruthless streak? Why has he not got what Haaland does? He's 20 goals behind him every year. As Everton bring it away from the corner, it would be a real sucker punch if we lost this. It'd be quite deflating if we drew it, to be honest, against 10 for half an hour. It's now City 3, Chelsea 1. Haaland has wrapped up the points there. So at least the saving grace is no one's getting closer. But it'll be 2 teams breathing down our neck instead of 1. And I think it's going to be coming. We're going to encourage the lads as we head towards stoppage time. Can we get another late winner? Timo Erdogan on the left to Mbappe. Back out to Erdogan again and Agumbi. Big switch towards Frimpong. It's not good enough. Balde heads away. Played long downfield. They're in. Dardri gets there. He's been forced wide, but they've got 2 unmarked in the middle. Delivered to the back post. Erdogan does well. And Ben White hacks it away. But Everton created the best chance of the last half an hour here. And Harrison's in again. Chance to cut inside to Dardri. He plays it through. Sinistera's in. Good save, Ivan Meslier. The offside flag goes up. He wasn't to know. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Would be unfortunate, to be honest, if Everton conceded, because they haven't deserved to lose this, even with the 10. Bassone goes wide to Mbappe, though. We won't care if we nick it 1-0. We'll do it in Fergie time too, as Agumbi. Through ball to Hannibal. Oh, he's been poor most of the season. He was almost a hero there. Great football, brilliant save. Both keepers been on top here, as Mbappe's corners in to the back post. Petrov heads clear. As far as Voloshin, who will recycle it. Not really made an impact, but he's beaten his man there. Gets towards the byline. Just delivers it. We've been begging for that all day. Headed away as far as Agumbi. Goes short to Jalocca. Agumbi again. The pressure's building, but is there a shot to finish it? Jalocca up to Rashford. Back to Timo Erdogan. He shoots, it's blocked. And it's cleared away as far as Ben White. But Everton cannot get out their own half. They're defending for the point, and they've done it successfully. Everton 0. Manchester United 0. We failed to break down the 10 men. And to be honest, it's not a bad result because City have beaten Chelsea. But with that big stretch of games coming in January, I think the title race is going to get very close. Well, the Premier League table is left like this. 6 points clear of City and Chelsea. The goal difference neck and neck. Don't rule Liverpool out yet, who are finding some form now after a shocking start. And you all know when we're going to be back. We've got transfer deadline day at the end of January. The schedule could get even more congested if we get through in the Carabao Cup, which I hope we do. It is the only trophy United have won in the last 4 years. They won the 2027 Carabao Cup, and that was the last trophy that Manchester United picked up. So it will be 4 years without by the time we get to the final if we do. It's a United side that's not as used to winning as it should be for the players it's got. We got a slightly better draw in the FA Cup, Portsmouth rather than Arsenal and City, who we faced in the League Cup. So fingers crossed we'll still be in all competitions when we come back, but it will be the start of a horror run of games. We'll come back for the City game if it's very close between them at the top. If not, we'll do deadline day and away at Arsenal because we've struggled on the road more. But what a telling month it's going to be. I might even do it as 2 episodes. If you did enjoy this episode though, another disappointing day away from Old Trafford, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on for daily FM22 content. We'll be back for the big one in a couple of days time, but in the meantime, you can find the Hemel save up in the eye above. There's also a link to the new Review the 92, the Twitch channel and the football podcast. But above my head now, you can see yesterday's transfer deadline day with Hemel. It was a crazy one. It was a hectic one. I hope you enjoy it. See you next time.